Against a violent society. Police called it illegal, as Vic Miles and Dave Monzi's report.
We're going to stop on the Renown Bridge at 9 o'clock. Everyone starts climbing at 9 o'clock. We'll get there.
6:30 in the morning at a Delancey Street loft, a last-minute briefing of a half-dozen commando artists. Their mission, assault on the major bridges of New York. Uniform, bright-colored jumpsuits under safety harnesses, tools, flags, mirrors, smoke bombs, targets. The Verrazano, George Washington, Triborough, Brooklyn, Manhattan, and Williamsburg bridges. They really did synchronize their watches to follow an almost military schedule. All they said for the sake of art.
We are doing it really as a celebration of life, whatever it may mean. Because it's a very exciting thing, and we are taking all kinds of precautions.
Dressed head to foot in a bright purple jumpsuit, Gianfranco Mantenga scampered up the cables of the George Washington Bridge, stopping briefly only to take pictures of us, taking pictures of him. At the summit, the height of his artistic victory, the smoke bomb. Meantime, other things were happening at other bridges. Vic Miles was at one of them.
Dave, down here at the Williamsburg Bridge, you can color the climber green. He's Anthony Sapp, a sculptor from Florida who's been flown in specially for today's operation.
We're not trying to do anything but perform a sculpture. In a way, what we're doing is making a statement about the frequency of terrorist activity nowadays, but trying to do it in a non-violent, beautiful way.
Ah, these blasé New Yorkers. As Anthony soared, the bridge people just went about their business. Meanwhile, Anthony was flashing a message down to fellow artist Edmund Sheehy.
And what's he saying back to you?
He sent out a message earlier, La vida es sueño, which is Spanish. And,
life is but a dream. Life is but a dream, huh? He says life is a dream.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Finally, after setting off his ceremonial flare, Anthony descended into a field of blue, you might say.
My color was green. Starting at the Verrazano Narrows, we had red, yellow, orange, green, blue, and violet all the way around the island. Colorful, huh?
Nice. We're going to probably give you a very colorful summons, or 2 or 3 or 4.
Well, Dave, as you can see, Anthony's on his way to the slammer. What's happening to your boy?
Well, Vic, at the bottom of the cable, Gianfranco Mantenga was met with the open arms of the cops, too. He had called his project a work of art, but they'd called it trespassing.
Was it worth it, Gianfranco?
Yeah. And I hope people will understand that it's like an embrace we have been doing. 7 people around here embracing New York. And I'm very sorry for the inconvenience and for the trouble I've given to the authorities. Thank you, that's it.
Not all the target bridges were scaled today. In fact, we're told only 2 of the artists were able to get all the way to the top. The rest either couldn't quite make the climb or they were stopped as they started. All the climbers did share a common achievement of sorts. They all got slapped with summonses for trespassing. Jim?
2 questions, David. What is the sculpture? I mean, really, climbing on top of a bridge, is that a sculpture?
Their attitude is that the sculpture involves standing atop the bridges and setting off their smoke bombs, waving the flags, and flashing the mirrors. That's art.